Okay, I wanted to go over with you on crime situation in St. Kitts, because this has come up quite a bit to me. Wanted to tell you that the crime in St. Kitts has changed dramatically. I actually got here about 15 years ago, and although I really haven't experienced it, there was a lot of gang and drug problems back then, and there was quite a bit of break-ins, and the murder rate was very high. But what happened was, if you examine it, it was all drug related. In fact, about 99% was all drug related. But what happened in I guess it was 2014, or no, actually it was 15 or 16. They did some changes here. All this was really dealing with gangs, so they started working with the gangs, and actually they gave them jobs. That was a great idea, and they had a truce between the gangs. But people that were expats that were coming in really didn't experience it. It was between gang members amongst themselves, but that has changed dramatically. I mean, it's like maybe dropped 80–90%. It's not anything like it was before. Also, folks, if you want to legally get your income taxes to zero, how to get a second passport as quick as 45 days, do 3 things. Hit the subscribe button on the right of your screen. You get new videos automatically. Number 2 is I would like to hear from you if you got a question or comment. Number 3 is go to our website, www.citizenshipquickly.com, and just ask for some help. But all of that changed a lot, and I'll be honest with you, you don't have type problems here like that now. I've just never experienced it. And I go downtown, you know, at nights and stuff. I've never had any type of robberies here. Now, I did have some problems when I was in Panama. Had my house broken into while I was there. We just haven't had that. I will tell you this, by far, the crime rate is a lot lower in St. Kitts, I can tell you firsthand, than it is in Panama. One of the things too is you don't have a lot of homeless people in St. Kitts. It's almost zero. It's real low. In Panama, they're all over the place. It's a real problem with just petty theft and stuff like that in Panama, because I lived there about 4 years, and I could really see it. It was a real problem there. You get a lot of people on the, you know, that street people that come up and try to rob you and stuff. And in Panama, you don't have that in St. Kitts. I've never had that happen, and I haven't even run into people that have had it happen. So I mean, this is something that if you're concerned about, you won't have to here in St. Kitts. And you don't have, one thing I've noticed too in St. Kitts that people will bring up, and they'll ask me once in a while, are there any sort of racial issues? I'll tell you this, I grew up in the south of the USA, and I saw a lot more racialness there. I don't see any of it here in St. Kitts. It's just a different world. You don't see racism here like you do in the US. And also, I grew up in the south of the US, where it was, you know, pretty bad there. But you don't see it here in St. Kitts. And you get people from a lot of different countries that come to St. Kitts, and I just don't experience that. People are just you know, you have just cultures from everywhere. The Middle East, Asia, the US, Canada, all over the place, and people just get along. I mean, I don't see problems like they have with all these riots and stuff like this in the US. They don't have that here. I just never see it. And being a smaller place too, you can control things a lot better than you can in bigger countries. And of course, the tax situation too is so much better too. Also, while I'm at it, everything has opened up in St. Kitts. There is no quarantine. We mentioned that a while back, but some of y'all might not have seen that video. Even if you're not vaccinated, you can come to St. Kitts and not have to be vaccinated. Even if you're a citizen or not, it doesn't make any difference. It's just like it was before the COVID-19 hit. Also, we've got a developer if you're thinking about coming to St. Kitts, you might want to get hold of us, because we've got a developer that's actually will pick up and actually pay not your food bill but your hotel bill up to a month for your whole family. So if you're thinking about coming to St. Kitts, you might want to take advantage of this if you're thinking about coming. If you're interested, just contact us and we can get with you more on that. But that's and this is in a four-star hotel. So if you're thinking about coming, this would be a good opportunity to do it. Also, we've got a developer that they're picking up all your government fees, your background check fees, your legal fees. That's in the end of October. So if you're thinking about going with a real estate option, I would definitely be jumping all over that, because you're looking at $50,000 to $150,000 savings, depending on how many family members you got in your family. And of course, the government fees is your biggest part of your of money that's not going to come back to you, and they're picking all that up. Basically, the way it works is the unit is right at the $400,000 mark. They have some units as small as that, and basically they're picking up about everything. You know, you might have a few small incidentals, but all your big fees are picking up. I've never seen a developer do that. That's a big benefit if you're looking to get with the real estate option. So I would be considering, looking into that option there. Also, if you're looking at other residency type programs, now St. Kitts does have, as I mentioned before, it does have a residency program here, and you don't have to, you don't even have to invest any money. It's one of the few places you can come down and literally get residency here and not even have to invest any money. That's real rare you see something like that, especially in a country that they really don't have to do that, because those countries that don't have an income tax, they usually have just hordes of people coming in, like the Cayman Islands and places, and they make it very difficult for you to come in there unless you invest a lot of money. Bahamas is one of them, the Cayman Islands is another. And here, literally, you don't have to do it. You can, and it leads up to citizenship if you reside here. Now, you don't have to be here all the time to do that. You can be here part of the time and then take off and leave if you want. And after 14 years, you can apply for citizenship. Now, I've gone over some of the guidelines about how strict they are on the residency, taking off and leaving. You can look at the other videos on that. I've done tons of videos on that. But the big key here is if you come to St. Kitts, you get residency here. The weather is so nice all the time. Just beautiful day to day, nice all the time. This is in October 2022. I'm doing this video, but this is the key right here. You can come down to St. Kitts. If you're a U.S. citizen, if you're outside the U.S. long enough to qualify for the foreign earned income exclusion, you can exclude, it's $112,000 per person, husband and wife. That's $224,000 a year. If you want to, like next year, it's going to go up even higher. It goes up every year, the exclusion amount that you have per person. But that's $224,000 that you don't have to pay taxes on. And if you set it up where a foreign corporation pays your income to you for your salary, since that's a foreign corporation that actually pays it, it doesn't have to file FICA. And that's a huge savings. Even in Puerto Rico, you have to pay FICA down there. You got all kinds of things there too. You have charitable contributions. You have all kinds of licensing fees, and then your local fee, your local salary is as high, can be as high as 30-something%. I did a separate video on that too. Here you can get it down to zero. Okay, I mean there's so many different ways you can get your taxes to zero. But one thing that's nice here is your cost is not so high to live here. This is the key thing that you won't see in Bahamas, the Caymans, British Virgin Islands, Bermuda, places like St. Bart's is through the roof, man. It's I've never seen a place as high as that. That's the highest place I've seen in the Caribbean. But if you want a place that's got it all with reasonable, living costs, this is a great place to actually be. Now, you can get, the way it works is, I've mentioned this before, if you get paid Social Security and you come to St. Kitts, and if you're not a U.S. citizen anymore, there's a withholding tax. But if you stay a U.S. citizen, they'll just tax you. You just report that on your regular income, okay? There's so many benefits of coming here. You know, and eventually, if you relinquish your U.S. citizenship, there's no income tax, no capital gains tax, no estate tax, no inheritance tax. When I say no capital gains tax after 1 year, they only have it for 1 year and that's it. Most people that get a property or something, they're not going to sell it in that length of time anyway. But you've got, as I mentioned before, if you come to St. Kitts, your best place to actually to buy is in Frigate Bay. I like Half Moon Bay too. There are some areas on the outer end of the island that are pretty nice. It depends on what you're really looking for and what you want. We would have to really talk to you and see what you're really looking for. But I'll tell you something, as far as setting up a business, I'm going to tell you, I don't know of any business opportunity where you can come in here, literally avoid, as an owner of a business, Social Security tax, income tax, all these different taxes, and live in a really nice climate all year round. The weather's just so nice here. But the easiest way, like I mentioned to you before, is to get citizenship. But we do have a residency program, like I said. We can help you with that. That's going to be either you would either have to set up a business to do that, or you would you can buy a property if it's $300,000 and you get permanent residency without the right to work. But doesn't mean you cannot set up your own business. I'm talking about you can't just go out and apply for a job if you're not a citizen. But most people that come here anyway, we work with, are wealthy. They're not looking to work for somebody else anyway. But that is a real quick way. You know, if you're looking and you don't know what you want to do and you just want to be able to come and go as much as you want, then buying a property for the permanent residency option, that might be a good way for you to go, okay? Now, if you're not looking at getting a property, like I said, you can get a worker's permit. If you're not a citizen and you're coming down and you're setting up a residence and you're not going to buy a property that's at least $300,000, because that will give you a permanent residency right off the bat, then what you can do is you can just go ahead and get a business set up. And like I mentioned to you before, if you don't have to hire people, but I'm going to tell you, if you're not a citizen and you're coming down trying to set up a business, and you're more than likely going to get approved for the business if you're going to hire some Kittians or Nevisians, okay? What the government wants to see is where someone's coming down and getting people hired that are locals, okay? Doesn't mean you have to. I've seen people come in, set up a business, get residency, not hire locals, but I'm saying it's easier if you go with that option where you're coming in and you're trying to promise to hire some people, and they're more likely going to let you work in that business as long as it's not a protected business. If you want to learn more on this, again, folks, go to our website, www.citizenshipquickly.com, and just ask for some help. And also, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. At the right of your screen, you get new videos automatically as they come out. And I look forward to talking to you in the next video. Take care.